Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Sunday, December 27th. It's 12:26 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Bitcoin over this weekend has broken the $500 billion mark for a little bit. That is amazing. The $500 billion market cap, I should say. Also, it's hit 28K. It's coming down right now a little bit. Ethereum has broken $700. It's cooled off a little bit. It's right at 699 right now. We have a glorious day in the market. Check out bitcoindailyview.com for links and stuff. You know, that's the show's website. Anyway, Coinbase, or I should say, I'm sorry, Coin360 here. I noted Digibyte this morning up 9.78%. Showing up for work, that's really nice. That is an alt that has been getting crushed recently for a while. So is it alt season? Well, Digibyte thinks so. Bitcoin at 27,000 right now. Ethereum flirting with 700 at 698 right now. XRP still having a hard day, but we'll take a little bit of a closer look at that. It ain't over yet. Lang showing up for work today. Cardano up 2.22%. Cool number. Litecoin at 132. Definitely have a green day in the market. We definitely do have some deep green. Unfortunately, Theta was kicking ass, but it retraced. Let's take a closer look at that because it definitely represents what a lot of alts are doing right now, I think, along with Digibyte. So maybe we'll take a look at those two real quickly. Bitcoin volume last 24 hours is 6.9 billion. That is, or actually, I could say 6.8 billion if I round that down. That's amazing. I've never seen volume like that. Binance, almost 4 billion of that, 3.9 billion. Wow, thanks for not crashing, Binance. You held in there. Coinbase, usually half a billion is a big day for Binance. I'm sorry, for Coinbase. But it came in at 1.1 billion. That is wonderful. So these guys held it together and did not crash during this pump. That is a beautiful thing. Longs versus short sentiment on Binance, where all that glorious volume is. Longs 52%, shorts 47%. So the sentiment is long, but not too long. All right, how many gold coins by Bitcoin right now? 14.45. What's Bitcoin doing? Looking at a 4-hour chart here, you can see it very clearly. We're well above the 200 moving average. It's glorious. We cranked. We actually wicked all the way up to like 28K plus 28K, 28,300 or so. That's beautiful. Now we're cooling off a little bit. That is fine. This red moving average, if you look right there, is the 8 moving average. Usually you're going to always pull back to that. Whether you go above it or below it, you're going to pull back to it in time. So this is fine. We were pumping pretty hard. We've pulled back to the moving 8, as I like to call it. It's good. Directional index is strong. ADX is strong. RSI is turning down, but it's high. It's in a beautiful spot. It could certainly go up, move sideways. KRI right here is green. So basically, it's cooling off a little bit. The by Lazy Bear, the wave trend oscillator. I'll put a link to that in the over there at Bitcoin Daily View. A beautiful oscillator by a guy named Lazy Bear. It's kind of like a MACD, but extremely high tech. So right now, we're on the high side of things. So Bitcoin's basically cooling off after a massive run, but still positive indicators wise. And if you look at a 45-minute chart, we have been retracing, but now it looks like we're starting to turn up again. Definitely lost our velocity when it comes to the directional index, and the ADX is low, but the RSI is ready to take up again. So is the KRI, and the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear is right in the middle where it could certainly begin to move up again. So if you ask me, we are just cooling off a little bit on this rocket ship to Pluto. As always, not financial advice, entertainment purposes always and only. I'm not a financial advisor or a life coach. So Ethereum USD, this is really making it happen recently. We got to about 7,013. I'm sorry, 713. And that's a wonderful price for Ethereum. We're cooling off right now. As you can see, here's the moving 8 right down here. Let me actually expand this some so you can see. This red moving average is the moving 8. We are basically going to return to that a little bit. We got to cool off. That's fine. The directional index is in the green. The ADX is starting to turn up. RSI is in a good spot. KRI is in a good spot. All is wonderful. All is beautiful. Ethereum is just chilling out because Bitcoin's chilling out. It's above the 200 moving average after a brief visit below it. This is a 4-hour chart. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's look at a 45-minute chart along the same lines. Okay, we broke above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. That's always a great immediate price action. Very, very important. Directional index is green. ADX is good. RSI and KRI are lining up perfectly. I would say definitely Ethereum is not done with this push. So we'll see where it begins to go sideways. This really makes me extraordinarily happy. What is alt season? I talk about it a lot. Basically, an alt's always making money. Someone's longing it or shorting it. It's alt season for a smart trader every day. But what is alt season in general? That to me means when more than half the alts are green consistently, and kind of dark green. I would call that alt season. Now, basically, what I think is going to trigger a really strong alt season where alts are just making money in general. At least half of them, is when we see Ethereum. It's kind of happening right now, but let's just say a really strong alt market where at least 50% are making strong gains daily. To me, is going to really be signified today. This is what I mean. On the 45-minute chart, if we look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin, it just crossed with this pump recently above the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. That's powerful. Directional index is green, ADX is good, RSI and KRI are all where they need to be. This is a glorious, glorious, glorious thing. Let's also look at the 4-hour chart. It is pushing hard, trying to get above that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart too. So I would say we are halfway since the 45-minute chart. Immediate price action is showing support above, just above the 200 moving average. If we can stay there at the white moving average, that is really, really good. I think we're going to stay there, and if we do, we continue to climb. I tell you what, as we get over this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, when we hit about 0.03 sats, rocket ship to Pluto land, I think you're going to see at least half. This is not financial advice, of course, but even though many alts are doing really well, I think we're going to see what people consider that alt season really kicking off, because I think you're going to see the majority, at least 51% of the alts, moving strongly into the green consistently. I think it's going to be a different world. Basically, in about right now, if we look at where Ethereum is, in about about 30, in about 16% more gain for Ethereum, and the world has changed. So that'll be historic. Set yourself a little indicator and follow that. XRP on the 45-minute chart versus the US dollar. Yeah, it isn't looking that bad to me. Look, in my opinion, they're going to settle out of court with the SEC. I believe that's happened in the past between XRP and the SEC. If you look right now, we had a nasty, nasty dump. We all know that. We broke below the 200 moving average. We got red EMAs with a super guppy indicator here. But it's fighting back, and it has been fighting back. The 200 moving average is definitely on a downtrend, but if we look at this on a 45-minute chart, we're just starting to see some green candles here on the directional index. The RSI is high, but it's ready to go. The KRI is in a good spot. It just ain't done yet. And something that really makes a huge, huge difference to me is looking at the one-day chart. And here on the one-day chart, let's just nix this real quick. On the one-day chart, sure, XRP was having its beautiful moment. It was just cranking, and then SEC problems. Well, look at this. It crashed down past the moving average, but look at this. It's just finding support. It's holding on to that. I think when we start seeing a confirmed bounce off at 200 moving average, I don't care what's going on legally with the SEC and XRP. A lot of bankers use. This thing has been integrated with a lot of systems, and those systems are the guys who basically run the show. I pardon me, I guess, but basically I don't care about the FUD. If we make a bounce of the 200 moving average and XRP starts moving up, I could give a crap less about the litigation. It's over in my book, and everyone has the attention span of a goldfish, about 3 seconds, I think. So once we get a firm bounce here, if we do off the 200 moving average on the daily chart, it's over. The SEC just wants to be relevant in the future, and it's not going to be, and so it's messing with Ripple because they're assholes. All right, Theta USD. It had a glorious, glorious run. If anybody's been watching it, I do love the forecast. If you look back here, right about where you would have had confidence at with a bounce off the 200, with a crossover with the 200 moving average on a 45-minute chart, if you were to have ridden this thing all the way up, in about 13 days, 7 hours, you would have made 136%. Wow. That is glorious. Now, most people would have probably gotten off, well, they would have gotten out probably around here, if you ask me. But even that is like 40%. And then, if you had done the logical thing, if you're working this thing, if you'd have hopped back in once you had a good confirmed pump again, and you got it out when you saw it dumping hard. Right there's another 35%. So this to me is definitely an alt that is already an alt season against USD right now. It's cooling off hard, but do note that it's above the 200 moving average, and I think we're going to see a correction. It's going to start trending up. Watch for the directional index turn green. ADX is in the right spot. RSI and KRI got plenty of room to move up. So watch this thing. It would not surprise me if it came down close to or hit the 200 moving average and then began to start moving up again on the 45-minute chart against USD. Also, check this out. Theta versus Bitcoin. All right. Look at this. It basically looks a lot like versus USD, but we had a beautiful run up. We've definitely taken a dump now, but it's wicked to the 200 moving average. It's fought back, and basically right now, we'll see if it's going to bounce off the 200 moving average or not. If we do get a nice move off the 200 moving average and we get a couple 45-minute candles that start showing a move back up, I'm going to hedge back into it a little bit myself. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, especially when the directional index turns green and the ADX is above 25. I'll settle for about 20. I'll settle for about, right now it's at 25 right now, so I'll settle for, 25, and I'll hop back in as far as the ADX right there. RSI's got plenty of room to turn up, and the KRI has plenty of room to turn up also. So glorious. We might be seeing a continuation here for Theta. It's got lots of hype in the market. Oh, and you know what? Let's just take a quick peek at DGB USD on Binance. DGB USD, if we look at a longer chart here, let's look at a 4-hour. Yes, this is a glorious thing. Look at that. DGB versus USD. It is just cranking. Look at that pump that it recently had. Forecast. Once we broke that, we can just go here. Right where you would have gotten in around here. Wow, you could have probably gotten a trailing stop loss, a trailing take profit could have gotten you like 30% on this. So anyway, that thing is rocking, it's retracing. Let's see which way it goes. Don't really know yet, but the directional index is strong, ADX is good, all the indicators are really, really good. This is definitely a success story. DGB is definitely on fire. Let's look at DGB versus BTC. How is that doing? Okay, this is an interesting one. I like the way this is looking. So you've had DGB, which has been on this just, oh my God, let me look at a 6-hour chart. Let me get some perspective here. All right, 12-hour chart. Sorry, this is a long one today. We're just checking out, all that's going on. So basically, look at this 12-hour chart. DGB has just been sucking ass for a long time. A couple little attempts to make a breakout, but it certainly has not done it. But on the 12-hour chart, now we do have some green directional index, and the KRI and the RSI are looking good. Getting some strong green candles coming in. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. And if we do look on a 4-hour chart, look at that. We're just starting to, after this long downtrend, we're starting to wick over and flirt with that 200 moving average. That's a DGB versus BTC. Super guppy indicator. All the EMAs are green. All indicators look good. If we can break above that and find some support and start moving up, especially with it doing so good against the dollar, wow. So Digibite and Theta are definitely alts that are taking alt season theory seriously. Like I say, I really think we're going to see that massive alt move in the market, even though we're seeing it in some places already without a doubt. But especially in alt season, I would define as where alts are doing good. Let's say 51%, I should say, of alts are doing good against Bitcoin, or strong green against Bitcoin. That's what I would consider an alt season. Sorry, I didn't get that out earlier and more clearly, but basically I'm watching that .03 sats. When we get over that moving average on the 4-hour chart, we're already looking good on the 45-minute for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and it's going to be a different world when we make this cross. I got my alert in. I hope you do too. Bitcoin is the peaceful revolution. Best shot we got at it in this whole darn planet. So I want to believe, as a matter of fact, I do. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care.